What's up, everybody? It's the Tebits, and these are the voyages of the USS Bear. I figured I'd go ahead and do something a little bit different today. I know we've been mainly focusing on Star Wars The Old Republic lately, and I was going to try and record some gameplay for this yesterday, but just kind of ran out of time. This is Star Trek Online. This is another game that I've been playing off and on since it went free to play. You can see that I actually have quite a few characters, and most of them are pretty close to the level cap. But a couple of weeks ago, Cryptic re-released the Delta Recruit starter bonus. So since I missed out on the Delta Recruits the first time around, I went ahead and created a new character. Now, this is where my love for Star Wars bleeds over into Star Trek. When you create a character, you are given the option to create your own custom race, and I tried to make him look as much like a Chiss as possible. I mean, you can even see his name is Thrawn. I didn't spell his entire name 100% correct, but the core name is there. When you create a character, you have quite a few different options. The Klingon Defense Force. You can start with Discovery era Starfleet, the Dominion, the original series Starfleet, Romulan Republic, or 23rd century Starfleet. This game is set after Star Trek: The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, all of that. Hobus has supernovaed, basically leaving the Romulans homeless. There are a couple of different factions vying for control. The Klingons and the Federation are at war again. The Romulan Republic is a faction that has broken away from Empress Sela and are trying to determine their place in the galaxy, and they're working with both the Federation and the Klingon Empire. The Dominion comes back, and you get an option to make a Jem'Hadar character that works with either the Federation or the Klingon Empire. But these guys didn't have the special starter bonus. Only the normal Starfleet characters got the ability to have the Delta Recruit starter bonus. And you can see the Delta Recruit is highlighted by the little Delta symbol here right next to his name. So I'm going to go ahead and log in with Lieutenant Thrawn here. I have just been given full command of the USS Bear. And you can see it there behind me in the loading screen. It's a Miranda-class starship. And we are currently located on Earth Space Dock. Space Dock operations. On the other side of this wall here is the Admiralty office. You can see this is the main docking bay out here. And there's windows on the other side that face out over Earth. But where we're going to be going today is actually to Vulcan. The quickest way to actually get off of the station is to just beam back to my ship. And here we can see the USS Bear in orbit around the planet Earth. So the mission that we're on is diplomatic orders. Lieutenant, we have a diplomatic mission for you. An important Vulcan ambassador is traveling from his home world to the monastery at Pajem. Capturing the ambassador would be a major coup for the Klingons or Orions, so we're assigning you to make sure everything goes smoothly. You are to escort Ambassador Sokath to Pajem. Please meet him at Vulcan. Once you locate him, speak with him about the transport mission. Do whatever is necessary to keep him safe. So our first objective is to locate Ambassador Sokath on Vulcan. And our task is to escort Vulcan Ambassador Sokath to the monastery on Pajem in the Beta Quadrant. You can find the ambassador at Vulcan, which is located in the Beta Quadrant. For completing this mission, we'll receive some dilithium ore, a data recorder, a photon torpedo upgrade, personal shield upgrade, some experience, and some expertise. So now we have to warp to sector space. So here we are in sector space, right outside the Sol system. You can see it behind me here with a couple of the larger planets visible. And if I got close enough, it would give me the opportunity to drop back into the Sol system. But that's not where we're going. We are actually going to Vulcan. The quickest way to get there is to transwarp to the mission starting location. However, this costs money. And I don't have a whole lot right now. So what I can do is open up the map, and you can see here is Vulcan. If I double click on it, it gives me the option to plot a course to the Vulcan system. And then the ship's navigational computer takes over and pilots you there on its own. The second planet in the 40 Eridani star system, Vulcan orbits the primary K-class star, as do two smaller stars. It is a harsh desert world with many active volcanoes and towering mountain ranges. Its atmosphere is thin, and the gravity on Vulcan is higher than that on Earth. The Vulcans have adapted to their harsh world, developing great strength and endurance. Okay, so we go ahead and enter the Vulcan system. Captain, we have arrived at the Vulcan system. I took the liberty of contacting the Ambassador's aide when we arrived. Tepella says the Ambassador has certain arrangements that he prefers when traveling. She would like to go over them with you. Would you like me to put her on the main view screen?
Greetings. Thank you for agreeing to escort the Ambassador to Pajem. Ambassador Soketh is currently attending a ritual to honor the end of the Kalrek holiday. He will be done soon, but the Ambassador is hesitant to use transporter technology. His bias against the transporters is not logical, but I have come to accept it. I believe that Soketh would be much more comfortable traveling by shuttlecraft. I have received clearance for you to land near the Ambassador's location. I look forward to meeting you in person.
There's a nice starbase here in orbit around Vulcan. A couple of dry docks, it looks like. But we go ahead and board the shuttle. We are ready to land on Vulcan, sir. When you are ready to make our final approach, let me know.
Starfleet shuttlecraft. This is Vulcan Orbital Control. You are cleared to land at the requested coordinates. Welcome to Vulcan. Please enjoy your stay.
Captain, the Ambassador and his aides are waiting for you at the temple at the top of his rise. You can speak to them there and find out if the Ambassador needs anything else from us before we depart for Pajem. So, before going up to the top of this little rise here to meet the Ambassador, I did want to take a quick detour. There is something on Vulcan that I did want to showcase. And you can see here who the tribute is to. It is to, of course, Leonard Nimoy and his character Spock. There are a couple of other monuments spread around the galaxy, too. You've got one on Earth at Starfleet Academy, and there's also one on Kronos in the capital city for the Klingons that also it pays homage to any of the actors that we have lost. I just think it's something nice that the developers did and kind of put in the game to honor the actors that played such important roles in the Star Trek universe. Here we are at the beginning of the path that leads up to the temple at the top of this little hill here where Ambassador Soketh is. So we have to speak with Tepella before speaking with Ambassador Soketh. Welcome to Vulcan.
Captain, I regret to inform you that we have come to an impasse in completing your mission. Allow me to explain. As you know, Pajem is sacred to the Vulcan people, and access to it is strictly prohibited. Ordinarily, this would not present any difficulty, but Savin, the leader of the order that maintains the monastery, has chosen this moment to illogically refuse to grant Ambassador Soketh permissions to meet with the abbot at Pajem. This is most abnormal.
Can this trip wait until Savin changes his mind?
The ambassador has considered going to the council to request that they overrule Savin, but the process will take time that he simply does not have. If the ambassador is unable to complete his journey to Pajem now, he will have to delay it until after the trade conference at Corridan is complete, and that could take weeks.
I wonder why Savin won't grant the ambassador permission.
The ambassador, I'm afraid, has spent too much time off-world. I have seen it change him. His interactions with other species have grown easier over the years, but our own people have become more challenging for him to deal with. Perhaps you could speak to Savin. I know he has a great deal of respect for Starfleet, and you might have an easier time than he has in convincing him to grant the ambassador's request.
Okay, so we have to question Savin about why he won't allow Soketh to visit Pajem. Let me speak to Savin then.
Peace and long life. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? Many years ago, Pajem was used for political purposes. Technology used to spy on the Andorians was hidden beneath the sacred sanctuary. It should never have happened. Buildings that had stood for 12 centuries were destroyed because we allowed politics and war in a place where there should only be logic and contemplative thought. When the monastery was rebuilt, we pledged to keep it safe from the cares of the galaxy. Only those who seek peace may enter. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors?
The Vulcan people have monasteries?
Even a people who reject emotion require peace and contemplation. We are a spiritual people. Our rituals guide us throughout our lives. Vulcans who choose a life of study and isolation, as the monks at Pajem have done, help us maintain our connection with our ancestors. The monks' study of Sirach's words in the Kirshara give us all a greater understanding of who we are and who we should strive to be. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors?
Tell me more about Sirach.
Centuries ago, the Vulcans were creatures of emotion. We fought one another in a series of wars that devastated our planet. Our species was on the brink of annihilation. Sirach taught us to embrace peace and to put aside our emotions in favor of logic. Sirach ushered in a time of awakening on Vulcan. His writings, the Kirshara, shaped all that we are. Without Sirach, the Vulcans you know would not exist. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors?
Don't you trust Ambassador Soketh?
I neither trust him nor distrust the ambassador. I simply do not understand him. He will not reveal his reasons for wishing to speak to the abbot, and has refused a mind meld with me. Normally I could respect his privacy, but other things I have heard trouble me. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors?
Tell me more about what you've heard.
Soketh has spent more and more time away from Vulcan in recent years, and seems ill at ease in what was once his home. Tapella admits he has changed in the past few months. He spends hours closeted in his study, and does not share meals with his staff as he used to. Tapella says that the stress of the war with the Klingon Empire is taking its toll. She hopes the peace of Pajem will restore him. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors?
What if the abbot agrees to speak to Soketh via subspace?
The monks do not use any unnecessary technology. Even replicators are not permitted on Pajem. There is a communications array available to the monks for emergencies. Soketh's request does not qualify. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors?
Soketh says you won't permit him to visit Pajem.
Soketh accuses me of abandoning logic, but he is the one refusing to explain his reasons for wanting to go to Pajem. The planet is sacred. Our ancestors walked those paths. They found understanding and serenity in its quiet. When I am at Pajem, I feel more at peace than any place else in the galaxy. Pajem has been touched by outside influences in the past. The Federation is at war. Now more than any other time, we must protect this refuge. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? Soketh says his reasons for wanting to speak to the abbot are private. I will accept that, but only if you are with him. I know I can trust Starfleet. Please, protect Pajem from any who would violate its sanctity.
Welcome to Vulcan. Do you have any questions?
Tell me about Pajem.
Pajem is a small world near Andoria. It is sacred to our people. There have been Vulcans on Pajem for centuries. In 2152, the ancient buildings that housed our monastery were destroyed by the Andorians.
The Andorians, but they are also part of the Federation.
It was a failing in our logic that led to conflict with the Andorians. We have corrected our error. After the Federation was founded, a group of Andorians, Vulcans, and humans rebuilt the monastery as a symbol of peaceful coexistence and cooperation. Since then, a group of monks has lived there. They study the ideals of Sirach. Do you have any questions?
What business do you have at Pajem?
My business is my own. If you must know more, I require a meeting with the abbot. He will not use subspace communications, so if I am to receive his counsel, I need to meet with him directly. Do you have any questions?
I have spoken to Savin. We can leave for Pajem now.
Excellent. Our departure has been delayed long enough by the whims of one man. I am prepared for the journey and can leave immediately.
Let's go. Tapella, attend to the matter we were discussing earlier. I am leaving with the captain to board the shuttle. Peace and long life. Yes, Ambassador. Have a safe journey. Live long and prosper. Okay, and then he will just follow us back down to our shuttlecraft. Ambassador Sokath and I are now ready to board the shuttle.
Starfleet shuttlecraft, we have logged your flight trajectory, and you are cleared for departure. Live long and prosper.
And now all we have to do is return to the bridge and we can continue on our journey to Pajem. Ambassador Sokath has retired to his quarters, Captain. We can leave the system whenever you like. Depart the system. So we're going to begin diplomatic orders. Sir, I'm picking up an unusual energy reading in this system. We should scan the system before we take the ambassador to the surface. Agreed. Sensors on maximum. Klingon ships.
This is Captain Katak to all Klingon vessels. Target their warp drive. There will be no escaping our vengeance this time.
So these are just Brel-class birds of prey. They're not very strong. Captain, we're being hailed by the Klingons. Put it on screen.
Cease your fire, Captain. Perhaps today is a day for words. My fellow captains were blinded by our vengeance toward the shapeshifter aboard your vessel. They have died with honor. But if I am to die this day, then I would prefer to regale the halls of Stovalkor with the tale of that foul creature's death.
Shapeshifter.
Ha! So even the mighty Federation has been fooled by the beast. Your guest from Vulcan is not as he or she seems, Captain. They are an Undine. They put on a false face and try to control us. But we Klingons know better. We will hunt them down until the last of these honorless dogs dies screaming.
An Undine, have you any proof?
Proof? Pah! Allow me to stick a blade in its belly while I look it in the eye while it dies. That should be proof enough, even for Starfleet.
I'll take that into consideration.
If you wish the honor of the kill yourself, then it is yours to have. So long as the Undine dies, I will meet my death with eyes wide open and victory in my heart. I await your decision. Close hailing frequencies.
Consult with my bridge officers. Before I consult my bridge officers, I'm going to come down here and pick up these Verteron particles. These are a crafting material. And when you get close enough, it will open up a minigame. And you just use the arrow keys to set the frequency right. Okay, let's go ahead and consult our bridge officers now. Captain, sensor scans indicate the Klingon vessel's warp drive, shields, and weapon systems are all offline. I don't even think they have impulse power. Whatever you decide to do, they can't really do much about it. Discuss the Undine with my science officer. The Undine are a species that was first encountered by the crew of the USS Voyager. They have cataloged them as Species 8472. As the Klingon commander indicated, they are indeed capable of changing shape. Additionally, they possess telepathic abilities that aid them in infiltrating the cultures of other species. So Ambassador Soketh could be one? I'm afraid that is a conclusion that we cannot rule out, Captain. I could conduct a test to determine if the ambassador is who he claimed to be. Unfortunately, that would violate his ambassadorial immunity. The Klingon vessel is awaiting your response, Captain, so we will discuss the Undine with my tactical officer, Elisa. The Undine are physically superior to humans and consider anyone from our dimension to be an inferior life form. Their vessels are more than a match for the Borg. They represent a great threat to Starfleet. Where is Ambassador Soketh now? The ambassador is still in his quarters. Sir, I recommend sending a security detail to detain the ambassador until we are certain of his identity. A sound precaution. Agreed. The Klingon vessel is still awaiting my response, so we will discuss the Undine with engineering. The Undine come from a dimension known as fluidic space. They use quantum singularities to move into ours. I am afraid much of their technology still remains a mystery to us, but one thing is certain, it is not to be underestimated. So why use a Starfleet vessel? That I can't say, Captain, but as the Undine are virtually unknown in the Beta Quadrant, my guess is that they are aiming to conceal their presence here. And the Klingons? What the Klingons are saying could be true, Captain. If the Undine are in the Beta Quadrant, it might just be that the Klingons sniffed them out before us. In this case, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Call the ambassador to the bridge and open a channel to the Klingon vessel. Let's settle this.
My patience is growing thin, Captain. If you lack the stomach to slay the beast aboard your vessel, then any Klingon here would gladly do it for you. I'd hate for you to stain that pretty Starfleet uniform with Undine blood.
Very generous, but unnecessary.
Then the beast is slain? Makar! Very good. Perhaps you've the heart of a warrior after all. Let me look upon our enemy, and tonight we will dine together as warriors and drink to the honored dead.
I present Ambassador Soketh.
Captain, I take my meditations very seriously. Why have I been summoned to the bridge?
Accused, meet your accuser.
Alive? You're a fool, Captain! Strike now before it's too late!
Not without proof, Katak.
You want proof? Then lower your shields and allow me to beam over. Once the Undine's blood coats my blade, you'll see it for what it truly is. A Grint hound in Tark's clothing.
Ambassador, allow me to explain.
There's no need, Captain. The situation is not difficult to unravel. My concern lies in the logic of you entertaining this Klingon's meritless claim.
Meritless, but not unreasonable.
A most illogical conclusion. Allow us to examine the facts, Captain. You have a crippled Klingon vessel, whose captain has made unsubstantiated claims that I am an Undine, a species that is known to both the Federation and the Klingon Empire as a considerable threat.
Thus, a reasonable consideration.
Potentially, but only if a great many other factors were to be true. Is it not much more likely that the Klingons have, in the face of defeat, instead sought to exploit Starfleet's desire for peaceful resolutions to conflict in order to repair their vessel and renew their assault?
Status of the Klingon vessel. Weapons inoperable. Warp drive is still offline. Wait, I'm detecting an energy surge. They're engaging their cloaking device. Red alert, lock weapons.
A true warrior strikes without mercy, Captain. I only hope to teach you this lesson personally before the Undine does. We may not be able to best your vessel, but a Klingon knows many roads to victory. The beast may have evaded my vengeance for now, but I can still ruin its plans here at Pajem.
Fire. I've lost them on sensors, Captain. They're gone. Scan the area. Captain, I'm detecting energy signatures on Pajem's surface. They are in the vicinity of the monastery. They appear to be transporter signals. Life signs indicate they are Klingons. I'm taking an away team down. Captain, shall I accompany you? No, it is too dangerous.
A wise precaution. Though I admit I am eager to see my people safe, I will await word until the monastery is secured. And Captain, let not my journey here be for naught.
Away team to the transporter room 1. And now we are taking the full team down. So I've got Elisa Flores with me, Zarva, Kolez, and Tavrel. So two tactical officers, an engineer, and a science officer. Tavrel comes in really handy because she does a lot of healing stuff. Captain, we need to secure the area and then make our way toward the monastery, which is located at the top of the hill. I'm reading multiple Klingon patrols between us and the main building, sir. Recommend we proceed with caution. Stay alert, we need to find the monks. Okay, here we are at the top of the hill at the main monastery building. The abbot should be up here. Oh, Klingons. A lot of Klingons. Okay, we have an incoming message. Sir, we're receiving an alert from Vulcan. Tapella says she must speak to you immediately. I'll patch her through to your tricorder.
I have terrible news. Vulcan security forces have discovered the body of Ambassador Soketh. They have determined that he was killed by a phaser blast at short range. His remains were discovered in a stasis chamber hidden in a cavern beneath the Ambassador's residence. The Ambassador on your ship, the one that I have been working for, is an imposter. You need to be very careful. This imposter was able to fool Soketh's closest associates for months. He is crafty and very patient. Now that he has been discovered, he will be dangerous.
Sir, unauthorized use of the transporters detected. The Vulcan government is requesting that the imposter Soketh be detained and returned to Vulcan for questioning. Sir, whomever used the transporter erased the logs, but I have a feeling that the imposter is on the planet's surface. I recommend we locate him immediately. We'll find him.
Such emotion on your face. I see now my deception has been exposed. Pity. Capturing the abbot so we could replace him as well would have been beneficial. But we are strong. We will prevail. You are weak, and the weak shall perish.
So the Klingons were right after all. He's an Undine. Recommend we return to the Bear and search for the Undine ship. We need to find the Undine and take it back to Starfleet. Captain, there's an Undine ship on an intercept course. Sir, the Bear doesn't have the armaments to handle an Undine attack. Starfleet reports that it is sending ships to assist us, but they are about 60 seconds out. We have to hold out until reinforcements get here, Captain. If we target their torpedoes, we might have a chance. Press tab to switch targets to incoming torpedoes to destroy them with your ship's weapons. And what I'm also going to do is reset my power adjustments to defense, because I have to survive for 60 seconds on my own. So I had a bonus option here of sending a message to the Undine ship that's part of the Delta recruit. And here comes Starfleet. Looks like we got a Galaxy class, and then a variant of the Constitution class. Got a couple of other ships.
I don't know if the Undine was to the message. Maybe it will make a difference. The Undine ultimately want to keep fluidic space free from outside influence. When Catherine Janeway first encountered them in the Delta Quadrant, she promised we would stay away, and we held to our end of the bargain until the Undine sent agents to infiltrate our governments. But the Undine only sent those agents because the Iconians fooled them into thinking we were invading fluidic space first. We were both deceived. This is a tragic series of misunderstandings that has led to wars and countless deaths. And it's all the Iconians' fault. They used the Undine to destabilize our alliances and set the stage for their invasion.
And now we just have to scan the debris of the Undine ship. Downloading the data, and we have an incoming message.
This is Captain LaForge of the USS Challenger. Glad to see we made it here in time to lend you a hand. Perhaps you'll return the favor someday. LaForge out.
Thanks, Jordy. What's nice is they actually got the actors to come back and reprise their characters. We've recovered the final data transmissions from the Undine vessel, as well as samples of the organic material that was used to create the ship. We need to get all of this back to Starfleet intelligence. They may be able to decrypt the messages and tell us more. So now we have nothing to do but depart the system. And we can hail Starfleet to report.
The ambassador was an Undine? I'm afraid their infiltration of the Federation goes much deeper than we realized. Who knows what kind of havoc they could create?
Here are our rewards.
Congratulations, Lieutenant.
So here we are back at Earth Space Dock. We're going to go ahead and make our way closer to where we get the opportunity to board. Let's go ahead and dock. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave it today, guys. Let's go ahead and log out. So this was Star Trek Online. This is another game that I have enjoyed playing for probably about the past 8 to 10 years. So much has changed since the very beginning. From voice acting being added to characters being added, storylines. The game has gone through a pretty significant series of updates since its original launch. I hope you liked it. If you did, go ahead and drop a like on there for me. You can leave a comment if you want. You can subscribe if you want. I try to push out a couple of videos a week. Tomorrow we'll be back with some more Star Wars The Old Republic. I'll be running Farseer through some more quests on Tatooine. And maybe we'll play some Star Trek Online at different points, you know, just to kind of break it up a little bit so that we're not always focused on one thing. So until next time, everybody, live long and prosper.